session will be recorded today. So if you are having technical difficulties, trouble connecting your audio through your computer, you can use the call me option for audio instead. And you can use the chat feature to post questions during the presentation. All of our participants will, you're welcome to turn on your video, but we're going to keep you muted just for the sake of recording today. But do feel free to put your questions in that chat. And just so you know that you can go out to our website and we'll have this recording available for you probably by the end of next week. So just a little bit of what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you a brief ISAC overview. I'm going to talk a little bit about our website and talk about some service testimonials. We're doing things a little bit different today. So then Eve is going to take away the show, and that's why I was a little nervous when Eve wasn't showing up, because I was like, oh my gosh, she really is the show today. So we're going to have some next steps after that, and we're going to have time for you to ask Eve all the questions that you'd like to. So a little bit about our partnership. It's not new by any means. We've partnered with Parchment way back in 2011 to really provide all of our Illinois students for public and private institutions and schools really to take advantage of our program. And we make this available all across our state. We have about 525 schools, not including Chicago public schools. I know when I say that number, everyone thinks, oh, that's all Chicagoland schools, but truly it's not. We have schools of all different sizes. We have schools from the smallest grouping of 10 to 15 all the way up in the hundreds participating. And we really have our students sending transcripts all across the world, really. When I say worldwide, sometimes we think they're just using institutions here in Illinois or across the United States, but they're sending them for internships and everything it's imaginable. Parchment's network really is very, very vast. And if you think about it, anytime you can email something, we can really get your transcript there. It's not only available for your current students to use, and this is something that we talk about a lot, and Eve will bring that up too, but we make the ISAC Transcript Exchange available for your current students. You can use it also for your alumni, and you can also use it for your third-party verifications. So it really is complete. The nice thing about that is you can choose how you want to use it and really make it available and make it work for your school. And that's something that's really outstanding, because you can tailor it to meet your school's needs and your students. I know that most of you on our call today probably have already maybe visited our website, but I just want to briefly touch on it for those of you that might not be as familiar, or maybe a coworker or someone in your network actually told you about the preview today. But if you haven't visited our website, I would encourage you to do so. You're going to locate information on our programs and services, our grants and scholarships. Some of the things that are hot topics right now are our post-secondary and career expectations framework. PACE is still a very big and active part of everything that we're doing. Also, the newest campaign that we've been a part of, initiative, is the One-Click College Admit. It's a direct admissions into state public universities and community colleges. And we're actually working in collaboration with the Illinois Community College Board and the Illinois Board of Higher Education on that. So if you haven't heard about that, you're definitely going to want to go to our website and check that out. Some other great opportunities that we provide is our training team, and I have Olivia Sanchez with me today, and she's been part of the training team, and she's just wearing a couple new hats nowadays, but very active in our training program still. And she actually could answer any questions later if you have it about any of our continuing education programs that we have. But we do offer many virtual and in-person trainings across the state on our programs and services. And there's Olivia there. Another thing is we also participate in and host a number of conferences throughout the year. We have an awesome one coming up in July called our College Changes Everything Conference. So you might want to check that out. And I know probably most of you, again, maybe got an e-message, but if you're not signed up for our e-messaging service, I encourage you to do that. And also make sure that your principal signs up. they can sign up as a counselor and get all the information. Registers have valuable information out there, so it's just a great thing to sign up, and then you're going to be in the know on everything that's taking place at ISAC. We promise, though, we don't send out like daily emails or anything like that, so we're not going to bother you on that. In the past, we've always had a guest. So this is the first time that we have not had a guest. Um, as you know, this is a very, very busy time of the year for all of our schools out there. And I truly appreciate all of you that have joined us today. But I wanted to let you know that on our website, we also have a section that talks about some of the testimonials that our school partners have made. And I just put a few of them up here for you to take a look at. But overall, I think as I've been working with Parchment now way back from the very day one, most of the schools that I work with will come back after they sign up and say, "Oh my gosh, Lenore, I'm really surprised I didn't join sooner." And normally, for some of our guests, we'll have a principal, a lot of counselors as they're processing transcripts, registers. So we have our Parchment Preview recordings out there for you to take a look at as well. And if you want to go back and look at some of the past recordings, all of the Parchment information is going to be very similar. And Eve's going to go through a great demo for you here in a little bit, but you can take a listen to what some of the other folks at some of the schools are saying about the service. And just so you know, I mentioned already that it's okay for you to be a very small rural school or to be a large school. Our service really can handle all of that. They also will sign up as an individual school, or you can sign up as a district if you have several high schools that are under one district, or that's the way the school board or your superintendent wants things to be set up. We can set that up in either a district format or just an individual school format. So I really want to get the show going here, and I want to introduce my friend and counterpart at Parchment, Eve Gans. She's the account executive and works with K through 12. Today, Eve's going to really walk us through what it looks like for a student account. She's going to do the same for the administrator dashboard and talk about processing. And then Parchment has some fantastic webinars that they offer. Some very important information goes out in those webinars. So I'm going to already encourage you to attend them, and Eve's going to tell us about that. So Eve, I'm going to go ahead and make you the presenter here.
Sounds good.
So
Awesome.
You should see that pop up here in a minute on your side. You should be the presenter now. You want to try to see if you can share?
Yep. Let's see here. Let's see.
There we go. Something's happening.
Are you able to see my screen?
I can see your screen. It looks like a bunch of messages.
Negative.
You might not want everyone seeing all of that.
Let's see. Oops. Let's see here. Where's the thing? Did I get to the wrong?
Yeah, I can see like your Teams messages and things. Oh, there we go.
Oh, let's see. Are we on my slide deck? Let's
Yep.
see.
Now I can see your slide deck.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so again, technicals. Gotta love them. I'm Eve. So nice to meet everyone today. Thank you so much for having me on. Like Lenore said, I am the account executive. I cover all of the independent and charter schools, and I have another colleague that also handles all the public education across the state. And so we have been partnered with ISAC since 2011, as she said. And so today we're just going to talk about Parchment, kind of where we're, our mission. We'll provide a demo of the student and administrative side. We'll leave a little bit of time as well for some Q&A that everybody typically has, and we're happy to answer those questions as well. A lot of people don't know that we are actually under the Instructure portfolio now. And so we are hosting everything from teaching and learning to growth and assessment through mastery. And then they've acquired us as well a couple of years ago for Parchment for credentials. So we actually have the lifelong learner journey from teaching and education to assessment all the way to getting their awards. And so that's what brings us together today. Again, like Lenore said, we've actually been in partnership with you guys since 2011. We actually have many state adoptions throughout the US, and they're continuing to grow. So this isn't something that has just started. We've been around for a long time and partnered, and so we would love to talk with you guys more about this partnership as an option for your school. Just to touch base, like what she was saying, as far as whether you feel like you're a smaller school or a larger institution, we fit all sizes. So don't worry about if you only have 20 students. We are totally happy to talk with you and get you guys signed up. So let's talk about the learner journey. Our journey today is not kind of what a lot of us remember from back in the day, as far as going to high school, getting your transcript, and going off to college. Students are choosing way different paths nowadays, from military to other institutions, needing it to go into the workforce. This is where Parchment kind of sets itself aside, in the sense of it's giving that student the flexibility to send off to wherever they want. And we'll show that more in the demo as well. But you're giving that student the autonomy and access to do so. And they're able to do it quickly, it's verifiable, and it's encrypted as well. So here are some of the colleges and universities beyond just what, again, with traditional methods: scholarship opportunities, military, NCAA, third-party companies for verification, those employers, any type of licensing. So we have to broaden our scope beyond just the traditional colleges and universities. Another great thing about Parchment, and why a lot of institutions choose to use us, is we are actually in the received network of over 97% of the colleges and institutions across the US, because they actually trust our source, because they are encrypted transcripts. They have verifiable tracking, so students' transcripts are not getting lost in the mail or under a pile of paper, or just overlooked. There's actually a tracking method that goes along with that student's transcripts and data. From your side, from the admin or whoever's handling those records on your side, it helps you guys put all of your records in one place. It helps with that fulfillment process along the way. It also decreases all those calls in the front office from where's my transcript, or I need to order a transcript, or even payment. Therefore, all those students and alumni and verifications can go into one portal, access it, it comes into you, your task flow is processed, and then it goes off. So it streamlines that process for you and allows you to have time back to critical needs for the student in school. Schools are able to make more informed decisions about the student movement. So if you are, sending transcripts off, a lot of times you can find data of what school your students are actually matriculating to. Maybe it's one particular college or university. Maybe you want to look into it deeper and maybe have a cohort and have some students do dual enrollment. Those are the type of analytics that Parchment can provide you guys. This is a great one as far as generating revenue. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well, that with our platform, you have accessibility for your alumni and third-party organizations to come in and access. They'll pay a small fee. What we do at Parchment as well is allow you the option to add surcharges to generate revenue. That revenue will come back to you every single month so that you can apply those funds to other technologies or some school need within the school. And here is something that is first and foremost the hot topic of unfortunately right now is fraud. We are starting to notice an increase in fraud across the U.S. in all realms of education. And one way that we have it here at Parchment is encrypted transcripts. The sense of security when a student does log in, we actually can apply the ability, if you opt to for a student to upload an ID along with a picture so that that can be matched, so that you do have eyes on the fact that that student is matching that request of transcript. So that is an option that we have opened up to help with that security piece as well. We are completely FERPA compliant. Any type of payment inside the portal as well for like alumni or third-party organizations are PCI compliant as well. We do not hold any of that data. So again, it's that added step of security. So a lot of people don't realize as well that we actually do way more than just transcripts. So we have document management. Again, everything is safe and secure for you guys. If you are looking beyond just the transcripts from the high school perspective to like student records, we handle transfer of cumulative records as well, along with digital and print diplomas that can be added into your Parchment account for replacement diplomas, and along with badges now. So if you are looking to build out a program for credentialing at your campus, we can certainly talk about that as well. So today we're about to jump into our demo, but I want you to be thinking along the way, where are your alumni student records currently being stored? How are you accessing them? Are they searchable? What kind of security protocols do you have in place currently? How are those being fulfilled? And do you have tracking? What about graduation verifications? How are those managed? Does a student have access to it? How about those third parties? Are you getting tons of phone calls or faxes? And how fast are they wanting that turnaround time for you guys? And are you actually generating any revenue off of those third-party companies? A lot of people don't even realize that that's actually something that is totally budgeted within those companies for a source of revenue. And they're missing that generation back to their school. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and then I'm going to go into our demo.
And again, feel free to put some questions that you may have in the chat, just to give you a little bit more information. I know Eve's talking about other programs like diplomas and a lot of other great services that you can access through Parchment, but the ISAC Transcript Exchange only covers the transcripts. You can also attach other documents such as letters of recommendation and that with your transcript, but ISAC is not covering participation for, just to clarify, for
Yep.
some of these other services that Parchment offers. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Yep, great call out there. Perfect. Are you still able to, did it pop back up on the screen, Lenore?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Good to go.
Okay, awesome. So what will happen, like Lenore said, this is for the transcript piece. We will help work with you with our implementation team, putting a secure link onto your website of your choice of where you want it. We'll have your title of your school, The students will enter here. Those third parties that we spoke about will enter with their credentials here. We'll go ahead and log in as a student. It will come up with their available credentials. Again, for today's purposes, we will be ordering a transcript, and this is what ISAC covers, but you can add other items as well, like we were talking about as far as replacement diplomas or a verification of certificate. You can also add immunization records or maybe some test records as well. So like one-off pieces for the students' access. It's completely up to you. For this purposes, we'll go ahead and order a transcript. So think of this as just a big storefront. So we're going to send it somewhere in Illinois. I will switch over here. We'll send it to this one. It will come up as an electronic method. There is no fee for your students or the school. It covers all of your current students as well. If it is an alumni, it would be $465. If it's third-party organizations, it would be $1275. It will come from the school, going to the university or institution of that student's choice. The student can opt to send it now, or if they're a current student, they may want to hold it for some grades that are coming about. So this would go into your administrative task on the hold section. So maybe if they're approaching, like right now, end of this semester, and they want those finalized grades. So this will let you on the admin side know that they want to be held for grades for that freshest transcript to go out. The student can also attach a file. Let's say maybe they need a cover letter to go off or a letter of recommendation. If that student is under the age of 18 to be FERPA compliant, we'll need a signature. They press consent to have it electronically sent. They press continue. Their order summary comes up. And then the student can also continue to add another transcript. It's unlimited transcripts with the ISAC partnership. So if that student wants to go to another school, let's say in Texas, they can go ahead and look for that student, that university or institution. Again, no fee. They want to send it now. They press consent, and then they have now 2 transcripts going off. If they want to send off 20 transcripts and apply, that they have every opportunity to do so. So that's the beauty of the partnership as well. So the student is not out, additional fees. We'll complete our order. The student has now received an email that their order has been processed, and they can always go back and check the status of where their orders are at that moment. They've also received a document ID attached to every one of the transcripts they've ordered for security purposes. So if there's any tracking that needs to take place. So again, we were talking about earlier, what does your process look like in the office? Are the students coming in? Are they calling you? The student can actually go on here and look at the real-time process of where that transcript is sitting. One great thing about Parchment is the fact that this student has this for life. So once a student has logged into Parchment and signed up, they can actually start stacking up their institutions of where they've attended and have access for life and always be able to come back and order a transcript whenever they need. So this was their high school. They've gone on maybe to another high school. They've even gone on to another university. They can continue to come back and order those transcripts. If they need to order they just, again, can go right back here, order their transcript. Here's some of the other information items that are available to that student as well. And so you have that customization. And that's it from the student side. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing for a second, and then I'm going to switch over to our administrative side and show you that side.
Everyone's quiet in the chat today, Eve, so I'm still not seeing any questions yet come up.
Okay. Let's see here. Pardon me. This was my technical glitchy stuff today that I'm having to do some workarounds for you to make sure we get this going.
One of the nice things about the service that we offer through Parchment is, as Eve was saying, once the student places that order, the student's going to get notification that the order's been placed. The administrator who's processing it's also going to get notification that the order's been placed. And both of you are going to have the ability to go in and actually track that document from beginning to end. And that's something that doesn't really happen when you're sending it in the mail, right? You don't get that tracking unless you're paying for some sort of extra service. And then you're only being told that it's actually going somewhere in the institution in their mail room. It's not really going to the person that's actually processing those documents. So it's a great feature, and pretty much everybody comes back and says, we just love the ability to quickly tell a parent that yes, indeed, that transcript is there. And I know there's something called a document ID that if something is missing, the student can give that information, and you can provide that, or the student can provide that even to the college admissions office, and then they can go ahead and pull up that document. It's very easy to get something sent again, even because you're just processing it almost like you would be doing your email with just a few clicks of the button there. I'm going to turn it back. Are you ready to go again, Eve?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
No, I'm glad you talked about that. No, that's great. And I can see that it's pulling up. So now we're going to be looking at the administrative side. And yes, to touch on base with what Lenore had just said, as far as the document ID, that actually comes over here as well. And we'll talk about that here in a second. And so the whole thing, a lot, and I used to do some records processing a while back, and we were just using logbooks, and you would have to write down the number or put down the information, and we're humans and there's errors. Sometimes the phone's going crazy, or you're just pulled in many different directions and you don't write down that information. And so that just gets lost, and we don't want to have any type of jeopardy with the student not getting admitted to a college or losing out on a scholarship, or potentially a job offer as well. So having that trackability and that confirmation from a verifiable stance is a great thing. Okay, so we are now in our administrative side. Again, you will be going into the same portal as an admin, but with your credentials, you can have multiple admin as well. So if you have multiple registrars, counselors, admin that want to have oversight, totally fine. We actually suggest that so that it can, it's not just one solo person looking at information. So here are the open orders tab. The student had all the information has come through, and these are the transcripts that have been requested. Notice down here that they have become manual match or even auto matched. So what we do with this process is our implementation team will work with you to get all of your rosters in there from current students and alumni. if you're wanting to put alumni in there as well. And then we'll do the same thing with all of your transcripts. The two come together and they become auto matched. So when Bam Bam Rubble has submitted a request for transcript, our system is saying, hey, Bam Bam has a transcript on file. You can go in, look for more details, make sure that that student ID is correct. Notice here that there's that document ID as well. If you want to look even further, you can make sure that that transcript does match that student. If there's any type of items that need to be corrected, make sure the delivery is there. That student is wanting that transcript to go off to Northern Illinois, making sure that there's a FERPA consent if needed on there as well. And if everything looks good, you can press the button to have it sent, and it goes off just like an email. So now the institution has received the transcript. The student has also received confirmation by email that their transcript has been sent. So everybody is getting tracking along the way. Notice here that these do not have a credential on file. So maybe you've got, haven't uploaded that freshest batch, or maybe you have a new student that has come in and you haven't quite got their transcript in the system quite yet, but yet you have one. All you have to do is literally drag and drop, make a PDF in there. It'll come up if everything looks good. You can even add attachments here, but then you can go ahead and process that application or that transcript as well. Another item that our schools like the ability to do is to add their own attachments. Maybe they want to send a confidential letter of recommendation off with that transcript. So let's say Betty Rubble has put in her order for a transcript. Whoever, the counselor or registrar, whoever's managing the transcripts, can send out an email to those teachers and say, would you like to submit a letter of recommendation on behalf of this student? They're applying to Illinois Wesleyan University. They send that information, you'll attach it, and then you can go ahead and process that order. Another item that our schools really enjoy is the ability to place a student on hold. So we had talked earlier about students placing on hold. This would be for the administrators to place on hold. Maybe they are holding for a fine. Maybe they have a parking fine. So you can put a fine or whatever type of message that you want to go off to the student. You place them on hold, and then it actually moves over into your hold task with the information you sent. They come in or call and speak with you. You remove the hold, and then you can process that order. Okay. Here is the section as far as what we were talking about. You would work with our implementation team as far as uploading rosters. So again, we would help you with this as far as indexing last name, first name, ID, grad year, any other type of qualification, indexing items. And we will help you upload that along with your credentials that you want to upload as well. If you're just wanting to do transcripts, again, I had mentioned part of our service is ability to add immunization records, or maybe even some ACT test or records like that, or birth certificates. You would be able to upload this as well under this program. As an administrator, if a student just happens to walk in and needs a transcript and you want to help them as well, you can order on behalf of that student. They don't have to necessarily log in. So you can just, again, go under the order tab, search for that student, select, save the account where they're going, add the transcript. They want to go off to Illinois College. Again, no credential fee. They want it sent off now. And then you'll sign the FERPA consent for them since you're the administrator for the school. And it'll complete the order. We suggest doing it this way. So again, for that verification and trackability, so that now you have a logged entry. So let's go into the history section. This speaks volumes to that verification process. So if you're wanting to look up a particular student of when that student ordered a transcript, or in particular, and maybe there's an issue, they're saying it wasn't sent, or if you just want to look back through a date range, it will pull up your whole history of those transcripts, all the ones that have been processed and ordered. It will give you an itemized detail of when the order was created, approved, and then uploaded. So again, it's just one more step, verification for instance of security for you for audit trails, along with your students as well for their knowledge base is where their actual student data is going and being received. And that is it from the administrative side, pretty easy, which is a great thing because there's not a lot of learning upskill as far as implementation from the administrative or the student side. It's pretty much order and then process. And so I will go ahead and switch back to here to talk more about what is included. So like Lenora had said, that we do offer other things, but for our particular transcript exchange, there is no cost to your students. There's no cost for implementation and setup fees for your school or district. We provide all of your training and implementation, along with if the student does want to mail or have it print, they just pay $2.75 for your current students. Alumni, we have our $4.65, and then third parties are $12.75. Again, those two, you have the ability to add surcharges and as a revenue source back to your school every month. Lenore had brought some testimonials, and I wanted to share one that I had just recently received. Again, I handle primarily the independent schools and charter schools, but I had a wonderful call out the other day from one of our clients, and unfortunately they have to remain kind of anonymous, but they are a national charter organization. And they said that basically the consistent and efficient transcript process removes all the barriers for the students. And I appreciated that because ultimately that is what we hold dear at Parchment, is the fact that it's giving those students the accessibility to be able to send transcripts wherever they want without limitations. They're able to navigate the steps of college applications, transfers, college or career opportunities, and then ultimately it's able to get them to move forward in their journey as far as you know, whether they're choosing to go to college or moving into a career opportunity or to the military. So it's giving them that freedom to do so.
Eve, we did get a question that came up, and Josh is asking, if students are under 18, do they have to have their parent's signature every time an order is placed, or can they just do that one time?
Great question. No. So as soon as they put in their FERPA consent for that transcript order, then yeah, it will hold as far as if they've ordered once and the parent has signed, it will hold that that FERPA consent.
And we have another question. Is there a cost to the district? Should we choose to also offer health records or additional records?
Ah, great question. There is so again, with the ISAC partnership, transcripts are completely covered 100% for those students, for current students. If you add immunization records or birth certificates, they charge the $465. Great question.
But they can attach like the letter of recommendation, and there's no additional
Absolutely.
charge for that.
Nope, no charges whatsoever.
And one thing I wanted to just point out is, when does a current student become an alumni? I get that question a lot, and it's like, when does that happen?
Yeah.
And as soon as we get to August, then that is going to change. It changes on August 1st. And so you want to make sure that you go ahead and communicate to your current students that there are going to be a charge for anything that they do after that August 1st deadline, and then they would become an alumni. And so the question comes up again. Let me see, we got a couple more questions here. I know we're gonna maybe go a minute or two over here. It says 465 cost to the district or the requester. So I'll
Sure.
let Eve answer that, even though I was getting ready to. Go ahead, Eve.
Yeah, not to the district, to the requester.
And the nice thing about that is that the student's going to see that, the alumni is going to see any charges, whether it's for a paper charge or it's for that alumni, charge. They're going to see that when they go to place the order. If you remember, Eve was showing it, there was a zero charge there in her example, but they're going to see that. They then have the opportunity to, not send that request through, and they can go ahead and call your office. And you can go ahead and choose to process the transcript the way you are now. So it's not a one and done. And the other nice thing is, any fees that are being collected, nothing's going to go through the high school or that institution. All those fees are going to be paid directly up front to Parchment. So if there is a fee when it comes to you, the administrator, to be processed, you don't have to worry about collecting a fee. That has already been paid. I know I've had some registrars come to me and counselors in the past and say, oh, I tried to save my student the, money because they wanted this done or that done. And I say, oh, well, that's nice, but you just kind of held up their transcript because that fee was already paid up front. So just a couple things to remember. And it says another question here. I think I missed this. Students do not need to create an account if we are going to send transcripts from our staff account.
Maybe if I clarify, are you in reference, if you're the order on the admin side, you can order on behalf of a student? Absolutely. If the student doesn't want to order and sign up for an account themselves, that's totally okay. We would highly suggest them to go ahead. I would get in the practice, if of having them go ahead and complete a sign up. That way they can manage their transcripts.
Yeah, that's something that we always encourage too. I know we're already at time. I'm just going to quickly go through the end here. Go ahead and put questions that in the chat if you still have them, and those that want to hop off can, and we can take any additional questions. But I have some contact information up here for you. Also, just want to let you know how simple and easy it is to get started. Process, you can reach out to myself or you can reach out to Eve. We've got this kind of broken up for you on this slide here on who to contact, but know that the process is going to be smooth. There's a user agreement that gets signed online that needs to be signed by a principal or a superintendent at the school. Then, as he said, there's a whole dedicated staff that's going to lead you through that implementation process. And then you're going to be able to start sending transcripts. One thing that I really appreciate is all of the videos and self-help things that Parchment makes available so that if you can't remember how to upload a roster from grading period to grading period, you're going to have all the information out there. But I don't want to keep folks any longer than we have to. There's so much more that we could say about how great and wonderful the system is, from, running reports that you're not going to have to use that old logbook like you had to in the past. There's just so many quick and easy features just at the touch of your fingers. And I think that if you have additional questions, let Eve and I know. We're happy to meet with you. We're happy to get you signed up. There's like no cost to sign up, no cost to ask questions, that's for sure. So if you're on the fence and you're not sure what to do, just reach out to us and we'll guide you. And we do thank you for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and Eve and I will hang just a little bit for those of you that might still have a question, since we had a little bit of a delay.
Thank you, Kimberly.